Beneath the calm surface of family life, whirlpools of passion sometimes lurk, capable of turning everything upside down. Laura seemingly had all the trappings of happiness: a loving husband, two charming children, and a cozy home. However, fate, like a skilled playwright, had an unexpected twist in store for her, where a forbidden desire ignited with a fierce flame. Laura, a 35-year-old resident of a provincial town where everyone knew everyone, had enjoyed a steady marriage with Rodrigo for many years. Her husband, the embodiment of honesty and diligence, always prioritized his family's interests. But over time, a feeling that something was missing began to creep into Laura's soul. Rodrigo and Laura met during their student years. Their friendship, which began through a mutual friend, quickly blossomed into something more. Marriage seemed a natural progression, and for a long time, their relationship was built on a strong foundation of love and mutual understanding. However, the routine of family life, with its childcare, work, and household chores, gradually pushed aside their former intimacy. Conversations became perfunctory, and the spark of passion that once burned brightly between them seemed to have faded. It was during this period that a strange feeling began to stir in Laura's heart, a mix of jealousy and admiration. The object of her attention became Anna, Rodrigo's best friend, a woman who exuded confidence, intelligence, and genuine charm. Laura couldn't help but notice how effortlessly Anna interacted with her husband, and how Rodrigo's eyes lit up in her presence. Questions festered in Laura's mind. What was she lacking? Was she truly content with what she had? These thoughts, like persistent melodies, played in her head. And gradually, without realizing it, Laura began to desire not just Rodrigo's friendship, but Anna's attention as well. Then one day, after a routine parent-teacher conference at school, Laura and Anna found themselves alone in the living room. An inexplicable tension filled the air, and Laura's heart pounded in her chest. Glances lingered longer and became more expressive, accidental touches more palpable, smiles more revealing. Laura caught herself yearning for these fleeting moments. One evening, Anna suggested a walk in the night park. Silence and tranquility enveloped the town as they walked side by side, engaging in casual conversation. Suddenly, their eyes met, and a fire ignited within Laura. Unable to resist the pull, they drew closer and merged in a passionate kiss. That was the moment everything began. Later, there was a motel room and frantic intimacy. It was as if a spark, long smoldering beneath the ashes, had suddenly burst into a bright flame. Laura's world crumbled in an instant. Guilt and confusion overwhelmed her. She loved Rodrigo, but her attraction to Anna was undeniable. Laura began secretly meeting Anna, trying to fill the void in her soul. Each encounter became a torturous mix of pleasure and agony, for she was betraying her husband's trust. Weeks stretched into months, and the burden of the secret grew heavier. The fear of exposure tormented Laura, and lies became her constant shadow. She felt herself drifting away not only from Rodrigo, but also from her own true self. The former Laura was dissolving into a web of deceit and forbidden desires. Rodrigo, like a sensitive barometer, began to notice changes in his wife's behavior. He became more withdrawn and distant. Evenings passed in heavy silence, and the smiles that once warmed their relationship vanished. Doubt crept into Rodrigo's heart, and he stopped trusting Laura. One day, Rodrigo couldn't bear it any longer and confronted his wife. He discovered compromising messages on her phone, addressed to Anna, which revealed more than Laura could have imagined. Seeing the pain and disappointment in her husband's eyes, she felt her world collapse. Tears streamed down her face as she tried to justify herself, but her words seemed powerless against the immense pain she had caused. That day marked the beginning of the end. Rodrigo stated that he needed time to think everything over, and Laura realized she had destroyed the foundation of their marriage. Guilt choked her, yet her attraction to Anna still reminded her of what she had lost. She tried to break off her relationship with Anna, but her feelings proved too strong. Anna, in turn, was torn between her love for Laura and her loyalty to her best friend. Their conversations grew increasingly tense, and their friendship seemed irrevocably lost. In time, the intensity of their emotions subsided. Rodrigo sought therapy to cope with the pain of betrayal, while Laura decided to confront her own feelings. The path to healing was long and agonizing, but necessary for both of them to move forward. Today, Laura is trying to rebuild her life. She and Rodrigo are still attempting to save their marriage, but the future remains uncertain. Laura has realized that suppressed desires and unresolved conflicts can lead to catastrophic consequences. The infidelity revealed hidden aspects of her personality, and now she is learning to live with the shadows of her past. The experience forced the protagonist to recognize the depth of mistakes that had long remained hidden. If she could turn back time, she wouldn't have kept the problem silent, but would have sought support. After all, open communication is the foundation of strong relationships, and secrets, like a slow poison, gradually destroy everything around them. The infidelity brought pain not only to her, but also to her loved ones, and every day she feels the weight of responsibility for the decisions she made. This challenging period became a valuable lesson about the nature of love, the power of desire, and the complexities of human relationships. The protagonist understands that the path to reconciliation will be long and arduous, but she is ready to bravely face all difficulties to restore what was lost. Life, as is known, consists of ups and downs, and every mistake is a chance to learn a valuable lesson and become better. To those currently experiencing something similar, she wants to say, you are not alone in your struggle. The path may be incredibly difficult, but there is always hope for redemption and a chance to start anew. The road can be winding and full of surprises, but with the support of loved ones and genuine understanding, one can find inner peace and taste happiness once more.